But do you feel like you'd have the same thought process if you didn't work 32 and a half years?
Yeah.
You think so? Even if you didn't work 32 and a half years?
When I started working, if I had a sugar daddy, I'd be at home.
Yo, chill out, man.
Any sugar daddy available.
Yo, relax. Yo, relax, man.
Just joking. My son is going to kill me.
Nah. Welcome back to the podcast. I started this podcast as a way to help Black men in all aspects of our lives. Studies show on average we lose 2.8 years of our life when we're under heavy stress. And I think we can gain those 2.8 years back if we express ourselves healthily. Stick with me as I interview therapists, doctors, advocates, activists, and friends about how we can be better as Black men and as a Black community. If you're not subscribed to us on YouTube and following us on Instagram and TikTok, you'll definitely want to do that. Without further ado, let's get into the episode. All right. We're back.
We are.
With another episode. This is a very, 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 should I say very again?
No, you should not.
Very special episode. For those of you that don't know, this is my mom here with me. We are doing an episode specifically for Mother's Day. And I wanted to do this episode last year, but everything didn't align. There was a lot of stuff going on. So I'm really happy that we're able to do it this year. Because
Me too.
There's a lot of questions that I want to ask you. I've had conversations on and off about just a variety of different things. Obviously going through therapy, talking about family stuff, and just there's so many different things I want to ask you. And this is a very important episode for me because I'm going to look back on this episode for many reasons. One, I'm going to look back on it for myself. God forbid you pass.
Which will happen.
Unfortunately. I will look at it and, you know, be able to have that memory. So that's important for me. There's not a lot of people that are able to document like a long conversation with their parents, which is very important. So I want to do this episode with you, do an episode with Daddy, do a Father's Day episode with Daddy. Obviously starting with you because Mother's Day is earlier. So yeah, I want to do it to be able to look back on it for myself. But then also when I have kids, I want them to be able to gain insight from our relationship and just the things that you shared today and just like your thought process and stuff. Because as you get older, I know you're going to get more stubborn and just annoying. And
Excuse me?
as you get older, you get more wiser. And
that sounds a little better.
Knowledgeable. And yeah. All right, cool. So let me give them a brief introduction into who you are, what you've done, so that they can have insight. And you can kind of, you know, share as well.
Chime in a little bit.
Yeah, you'll chime in. So this is my mom. My mom has been working 32 years.
32.5.
32 and a half. You have been, for most of my life, working at the same hospital. We won't say what the name is because we ain't going to do no free promo here. But you have been a surgical technician for most of your life. And then you transitioned into being a registered nurse.
Correct.
Lord Jesus. That's a lot. You've done a lot.
A lot of long hours, yes.
A lot of long hours. So let's start there, man. Let's start with your work schedule because I've said this story before on the podcast. I don't think people believe me. But
So
can we talk about your work schedule?
A typical day?
Yeah, a typical day.
So a typical day begins with me getting up at either 3:30, 4 o'clock. And getting to work at least by 6:30. And I usually sit and have my breakfast, which will entail a big cup of coffee and either a bagel or some other crap that I'm not supposed to be eating. And once that's done, I go upstairs to the 4th floor, which is the OR, and I begin my work. I start working technically from 7, and usually I get home by 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. That's my day every day. For the most part, I get home, I can say 9. On average, it'll be 8 o'clock I leave.
My question to you is how? Because you're recently retired. Congrats.
I retired on last Thursday. Hey, February 29th.
Congrats.
Yep.
You recently retired. Well, when I think about it, I'm like, yo, how? I used to sit right in this living room sometimes where you walking out, and I'm like scrubbing the crust out of my eyes, and you're like getting ready to leave, and I'm like, how in the hell is this lady working like this?
So to work like that, first of all, you if you don't love what you do, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't love your family and are motivated to go to work to get that job done that you love, you won't be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So the combination worked well. You love your family,
Mm-hmm.
but of course, I love my job too.
Mm-hmm.
I love taking care of patients. So it brought me great joy, and that I can say. And working at the hospital that I worked at, can't say the name, one of the best hospitals on this planet
Mm-hmm.
for orthopedics,
Mm-hmm.
and working with some of the world's famous surgeons. One in particular that I work with, I don't know if I'm allowed to say their name.
You can say his name if you want to. I didn't want to give any personal information just for your sake and just the
So
hospital's sake.
I have worked with some of the world's best surgeons. Numero uno for me, because I've worked with that individual for so many years, is Dr. Matthias Bostrom. And countless others that I can't name because everybody's going to say, well, I didn't name this one, I didn't name that one, and I don't want it to get into that tug of war because all of them are so skilled. And when you see what they do and when you work with them and see how they get it done, from when the patients walk in to when they leave, and that type of satisfaction you get from knowing that you did your best and the results that come afterwards. I mean, that is one of the most natural highs. You don't need marijuana. You don't need cocaine. You need a good job. Why are you laughing? I'm telling the truth.
You don't need weed. You don't need coke. You need to work.
You need a good job that you love. That's enough satisfaction you'll get. Why are you laughing? It's the truth.
I'll tell you something right now. Some people rolling up a spliff right now listening to that. All right? Let me ask you this, right? Because I think it's very important.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to do in this episode is another reason why I wanted to do this episode is because there's a lot of people that have lost their moms and haven't been able to ask them certain questions, right? And I always thank God that you're still in my life and we're able to have these conversations. As I've been living at home and just building a business and working and all that kind of stuff, we've been able to have so many conversations. I come downstairs, talk to you and Daddy about just a variety of different things. And I thank God for this period in my life because I know when I get older, I'm gonna look back on this period and say, this is one of the greatest periods of my life.
Okay.
I know right now I probably, don't seem that way.
You just told everybody that you're living here with us. You love the fact that you can go upstairs, come downstairs, talk, and whatever. But let me let you all know right now, he's not living here for free. He has to pay. You ain't living for free. You live for free when you're born. You get an adult, you're going to pay.
No, absolutely.
I'm just making that clear. You're an adult, you need to pay.
We have an arrangement.
You have to help with the bills and everything in here. That's fine.
We have an arrangement, ongoing arrangement that's mutually beneficial.
No, we got to keep it straight.
No, absolutely. I think it's important to set that record straight. But what I was basically trying to say is we've just been able to have a lot of different conversations that have been very enlightening for me and helpful. And I know a lot of folks probably just didn't get that time with their mom. I know some folks that I went to college with that they lost their mom in college, right? And so Mother's Day is coming up. One of the things that we're doing is we're having a webinar on Mother's Day about mother wounds, how to heal from those different kind of things if they have mother wounds. So anybody that's watching this, if you're going through that right now, first of all, my heart is with you. But on top of that, we have a resource for you in the webinar, right? So you can sign up. The link is going to be in the description of this episode. It's also going to be in our bio on Instagram, or you can go to expressyourselfblackman.com/links. And then you can sign up for the Mother Wounds webinar on how to heal your mother wounds. And that's going to be on Saturday, May 11th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. one of the questions I wanted to ask you, Mommy, is what was your first year of motherhood like? It doesn't have to be with me. I know you've had a multitude of children.
Excuse me. I only have 4.
All right, go ahead.
4.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the first year of motherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was around my grandmother for a lot, and I'm really grateful for that because she instilled a lot in us. She taught us a lot of stuff that if she wasn't around, I wouldn't really know. Not to say that my mother wasn't around, but when you have extended family like that next to you, embrace them, listen to them, learn from them, because there is a lot of wisdom, there's a lot of knowledge there that sometimes as young people we take for granted. I'm very happy that I didn't. Not to say that she didn't bust me behind when we did wrong, but there was a lot of wisdom there that we learned from. So she was always a caretaker, always taking care of kids. And whether we wanted to or not, we were taking care of them too. So you learn a lot about taking care of babies and stuff like that. When we had our own, when I had my own, she was always there too to help. So even though you're tired, you had extended family that was there to take some of the burdens off. It doesn't mean that it was easy, because you still had the nights you had to get up and do the teething babies, Lord Father. The sick babies, Jesus. But
was I a sick baby?
No.
Okay, go ahead. You said teething baby, go ahead.
The teething, everybody teeth. So other than that, it was an experience. It's nothing that you would ever think it is, because you have to live in it to really understand it. So me explaining to you that it was a little difficult. Everybody's difficulty is not going to be the same.
Right.
So it's harder for some than others because I had support.
Right. So you're saying one of the things that you think is important for anybody going through that first year is support.
Support.
Family.
Support.
That's it. Okay. I agree with you. I agree with you on that because I've heard other folks say that. I'm just kind of thinking through me and Naima.
Don't worry. What happens is if you're not living nearby, your family will come to you.
That's what I was worried about. Yeah, because we're going to be in a different state area.
You have the babies. When I move, you send them to me in the summer. I'll take care of them.
I love that arrangement. And Naima and I can go do what we need to do.
Yeah, you bring them to me. I'm fine.
We're going to take care of our own business. You guys take care of the kids. We probably give you a few months, give Naima's parents a few months.
Yep.
That's an ideal scenario, man. That's an ideal scenario. Let me ask you this, right? When I was younger, did you imagine, what did you imagine life would be like for me growing up? And then also, how did it happen quickly for you? Because you watched me grow up. Like, what was that process for you now seeing me? Because I don't know what it's like to see someone that you made.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what was that like? Yeah.
Having 4 kids, each of your 2 individuals, everybody had their own personality. Kwame, which is Milton, intelligent. So we always thought that he would be like you, right? Excelling above excelling. Alex, intelligent, reading at the age of 3, and anything he gets his hands on, he can learn. But he doesn't like to be told what to do. So it's difficult for him to work for anyone. I have to say it like that. So he's someone who is an independent mind. He has to have his own business. And I think it would be better for him to excel. My daughter, Elizabeth, very intelligent, extremely intelligent, but at the same time also headstrong. Knows what she wants, will go for it, regardless of what anyone says. And you, always private, always know what you want, just like your brother at the same time, because you all are always competitive, grades kind of close and always trying to outdo each other. But once college hit, everyone took a different path. So the path that you took and the experiences you had in life led you to a different avenue.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say it like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that you started with the podcasting
Mm-hmm.
and other stuff, and the mental health, which is fantastic,
Mm-hmm.
which is what we really need in this type of communities and stuff like that, because there's not enough of this for us.
Right.
Right. I wish you have it for women, but
We'll-
since you
we'll-
don't have it for women yet, but
We'll get
you
there.
know, I'm I'm all about the women too.
No, I know.
Yeah. So
I know. Top
right.
feminist. Mm-hmm.
So, but this is great. I didn't expect that you would be doing all of this, but I expected that you would excel. But to this point, with the clothing line, the podcasting, your other job, and just to get all of this in line, it's a lot of work because you're constantly. I call you, you're like, you didn't tell me that I have this schedule at 4:00. You need to let me know before. I said,
don't do that.
Don't tell me nothing about don't do that. Don't tell me nothing about don't do that. You're like, I have this thing at 4:00. You didn't tell me yesterday that you needed to go here, there, and there. I said, well, I don't plan my life all 24 hours and every second in the day. Things happen. Yo. Ain't no nothing about no yo. This is the truth. You have everything regimented to the point where I said to you, my boy, change up your regimen, because when you're so predictable, it's not good. Have I not said?
You have. You have.
Change up your regimen. To anybody who's that, change up your regimen. You don't want to be so predictable.
You have. You definitely told me that. You definitely have told me that. My problem is I get in a routine, and once I get into a routine,
that's your problem.
I get comfortable.
And as you said, that is your problem.
That is, no, it truly is. I get into a routine, I get into a rhythm, and I don't like when that rhythm is broken.
Good. I'm going to put some firecrackers under you.
I really don't. You know, like, I really get upset.
I know how aggravated you get. Don't worry, boy. I'm going to put some firecrackers.
But you didn't answer the second part of the question. What? Did it happen quickly for you?
No.
No, okay.
That's a process. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen quickly.
So you don't feel like one day I was 5 and then now I'm 20-something years old?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay, all right.
No.
All right. Okay.
Please, you missing all your teenage years, even though you all were very good, all of you. Right? No teenage babies, no teenage troubles, except for your little Kwame. You know, no issues and stuff like that.
Okay.
No.
Let me ask, what was one of your happiest memories of us growing up? It could be of me and you. It could be of all the kids.
One of my happiest memories of you all growing up, and I say this honestly, is when we brought you all into this house and you didn't know that this is where we were going to live.
Oh, yeah.
And then you didn't realize that this was yours.
I remember that. I remember that.
Uh-huh.
I was young too. I was 5.
You all were young. You're small. To come in from a little square box apartment, to come into a detached house where you can run around and you have a backyard.
I remember
It's
that.
a big deal.
I remember we pulled up. I'm like, why are we going into this house? I remember thinking that at 5. I'm like, what in the heck is going on here? And then we came in. It was dark.
Put on the lights and
I'm
stuff.
like, I don't know what I'm seeing, what's going on. We're walking through. That's when carpet was everywhere.
Yeah, there was carpet.
And we're going to the kitchen. I'm like, why are we just in these people's, like, where are the owners? And then after that, we moved.
Yeah, we were.
We had the caravan at that time.
Yep.
The Dodge Caravan. I remember that.
The Dodge Caravan.
The
Served us
sliding
well.
door. Yeah. Wow. So that's your favorite.
Yeah, because we moved from Eastern
That was a big
Parkway,
accomplishment. Yeah.
and that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Because your father and I, we were like, we have to get out of here. We can't allow them to reach their teenage years in this place. We got to go.
Right.
Because we saw what that neighborhood was like. And that, I mean, those things can happen anywhere, but once you're in the dead center of it, and this is what you see every day, it's not good.
It's hard to break
it's
out
hard
of that.
to escape.
That's why I always tell people on the platform, I'm like, I'm a couple of decisions away from being anybody. Because even if you guys had made a different decision, like, yo, we're going to stay in Brooklyn, we're going to stay in Eastern Parkway in the middle of all of this, I'd be a completely different person.
It would be more difficult for us to keep you all on the straight path.
Yeah, it would have been super difficult because it's just hard for us to find a route.
Yeah.
Man, okay. So that was a big motivator for y'all.
Yes. Huge.
When did y'all start having those conversations? Because it was hard for
From the time your daddy moved and we came here and he finished his degrees. And when the family was growing and we decided that we needed a bigger place, it was difficult to stay in that apartment. And because we had the 1 2-bedroom and it's 4 of us.
Right. Let's talk about your relationship with daddy.
The love of the life.
The
best man on the planet. Don't tell him I said that.
Well, I mean, he's probably going to see this.
Don't tell him.
Okay. He'll probably see this. So, I mean, just let you know.
One of the best people you can ever possibly meet. There is no man like Mr. William Forson. He is there for me morning, noon, and night. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't finish nursing school.
Really? Why you say that?
Because I had to work full time, which I was still working the crazy hours, and going to school on the weekends full time. And then studying one day. Cramming everything in one day to take all these crazy exams and stuff like that. So if he didn't keep you guys occupied, didn't do the cooking, didn't do the laundry, didn't clean up the house, it wasn't going to happen. Don't tell him I said that either.
You know what's so interesting? I always tell people on the platform, I want Naima to cook and clean for me and all that kind of stuff. And people always take it some type of way, like I'm trying to make her some slave or something like that.
But that's so if I would say that if you want Naima to cook and clean for you, I'm not going to take it in a negative way. I'll tell you not to say it like that, but I know what you mean because I'm your mother.
Yeah, you know me.
I know that it's because you love what she does. You want to see her doing the dishes that you like and she likes, and you want to eat from what she makes. Right?
Exactly.
It's an extension of her. So yes. I understand that, but people don't.
Yeah, people don't understand that, so they always take it the wrong way on social media, which I'm fine with. But
no,
what people
you're not.
don't. No, I am. I'm cool with it. It doesn't matter anymore.
No, it does matter.
It doesn't matter to me anymore.
It matters.
It doesn't.
Okay.
Let me explain this to you, right? So what people don't understand though is what you just said. Explained about Daddy. I watched Daddy almost all my life.
He's still cooking,
cleaning, taking care of the house,
and cleaning,
organizing things and structuring things in a way that makes sense for everybody. All the things that people see normally a woman doing,
right?
I've seen my dad do that my entire life. So
and he was working too.
And I understand that it's not just a responsibility for Naima, right?
Correct.
Or just myself. It's just that I'm like, yo, I personally, and I feel like a lot of men feel like this, want to be catered to. Everybody wants to be catered to.
Who doesn't?
Right. Who doesn't want to be catered to? So that's why I look for that in my relationship. But what I was really trying to say is I've come from a household that you just explained where it's cool and normal for a man to do those responsibilities or take up those responsibilities.
There's nothing wrong.
And I just had a conversation too with it's gonna actually release after your episode, I believe, Cito, where we were talking about he's Jamaican. And he was like, yo, in my house, if I don't cook and clean, my grandfather's gonna look at me like a waste man. He's like, yo, what you doing? You're not doing that in here. Because that's a Caribbean thing. You're not just
got to help.
As a man, you're not just supposed to just partake in everything. You're supposed to actually create.
A lot of West Indian men cook,
clean, take care of the house, do the household chores. That's not something that we just watch and just, all right, cool, she gonna do it and take care of it.
Oh no.
The last 3 weeks, who's done the cooking in here?
You.
Exactly. The last 3 weeks, we've had stewed chicken.
I'm good with that.
Curry chicken.
I'm good with that.
Corned beef.
I'm good with that.
And this week, I don't know what we're going to have. Actually, I'm going to be away this week, but...
He loves pizza.
All right. Come on now. Don't expose me like that, man. You know what's so crazy? I'm not supposed to be eating pizza. You know, because you lactose intolerant too.
Don't worry. Don't tell nobody my business.
You lactose intolerant. I'm not supposed to be eating pizza. When I eat pizza, son...
You gassing up the place.
Jesus.
Don't be around him.
Lord Jesus, I eat 2 slices of pizza. You don't want to be next to me, son.
Do not be next to
I'm
him.
telling you, man. 2 slices of pizza will do it. Like a ticking time bomb.
And you had enough to talk to me?
That's because when you in here, you be ODing, bro.
It's natural to pass gas.
You be ODing.
It's okay to pass gas, people.
You be ODing. Let me ask you this, right? Obviously, growing up, you worked a lot. We didn't really talk too much. Like, we talked about how much you worked.
From age 14.
Yeah, you worked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had kids and you were still working.
Yes.
I've heard you say this before, but I want to ask you, growing up or like through motherhood, what was one of the things that you feel like you wish you could have did more as a mom?
Be home with my children. That is something I can never get back. And even though I've spoken to you all about it and apologized, and you told me don't. As a mother, you want to be around your children. I see people that I work with who don't have to come to work, but choose to be at work and have someone else with their babies. That's their choice. But if I had a husband that was providing the way that theirs do, and we didn't have to have 2 incomes in the house, I stay home. I stayed home in 2 seconds.
You had no problem being a housewife?
I would have no problems cooking, washing, and doing what you say. You say jump, I will say how high.
You have no problems with that.
I don't have a problem.
And that's because you've worked. Do you feel like you'd have the same thought process if you didn't work 32 and a half years?
Yeah.
You think so? Even if you didn't work 32 and a half years?
When I started working, if I had a sugar daddy, I'd be at home.
Yo, chill out, man.
Any sugar daddy available?
Yo, relax. Yo, relax, man.
Just joking. My son is gonna kill me.
No. That's good. So, being home.
Yeah.
You saying that's the number one thing.
Being home. It's not being home. It's to be there for your children.
Being present.
And guiding them the way you want them on the track that you want them to go on. When you're not there, you're relying, even if it's your husband, someone you trust and love, it's still not the mother.
Right.
It's still not me. So when I pick out the whip to bust your behind, I know it's for a reason. It's good.
You never be, but don't cap like you was beating us a lot growing up. You didn't even.
I used to beat them like crazy.
You did not beat nobody.
I don't beat like that.
What you would do is
discipline by voice.
Discipline by voice, and if that didn't work, you said, "All right, cool, I'm gonna get your father." And then once we heard that, we said,
You
"Lord
done.
Jesus, please no,
No, you're done. No,
don't call him." Nah, those days.
Everybody had, but those days, even when your father was doing all of that, and you all would go out on the street here, and you thought you weren't being watched, you had neighbor 1, neighbor 2.
Snitches.
No, they're not snitches. That is the village raising the child. Neighbor 3, neighbor 4. That is the village raising the child, and that is what you want.
No, absolutely true.
It kept you out of trouble.
Well, I mean, we were never kids that really.
I know that. I said that.
Yeah.
But still.
You still need that.
You need that.
Going back to what you said earlier about having support.
It is a support system.
Very important.
And that's important. And that's what's missing a lot.
What you mean missing a lot?
You look at what's going on now. Instead of me raising the child, the parent of the child raising their child, the court is raising them. The child is raising themselves. And it's like your voice is not being heard.
What you mean by that?
Because you can want to discipline your child and say, well, you can't do this. Take away your cell phone. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tap you, slap you, hit you. Then they go to school and they report you for abuse. You have a teacher in the system that says, okay, let's escalate this. Not doing correct investigation. Your children are then targeted in the schools that they go to and attend. And you as a parent are then now targeted at your home. Investigators come. You name your blacklisted until the youngest child in your home turns 21. How fair is that? Even though there was nothing found. How fair is that to the parent?
Not really fair.
It's not.
But let me ask you this. Do you feel like, I think this is a great topic to have, great topic of conversation to have now that you brought it up. We're talking about beatings and spankings, whoopings, whatever folks feel comfortable with the terminology. Do you feel like that is needed to raise children? Do you feel like you need to beat a child to raise a child?
No.
Okay.
So in the West Indies, that's like, well, I had to say when I was growing up, it was like a thing. But I can't say that I used to get beaten like that. I didn't. And I can't say that all of us did. We didn't. You have to do something seriously wrong in
for
order
a beating
to get
to happen.
right.
So beating is like an extreme form of punishment to an extreme action.
Right.
It's not
it's not like an everyday disciplinary kind of thing. That does not work.
So you think in those instances when it's extreme, it's only in a response to an extreme action that beatings are
yes, you can beat, but it's how you beat.
Right.
And to the degree and the force and all of that is there's beatings and then there's beatings that go beyond what needs to be done because they're no longer correct.
Right.
They inflict harm. Right? Okay. So you have to beat, but you have to know how to beat with restraints, constraints.
Right.
You can't just beat to beat because you're mad. I never beat you all when I'm mad.
No,
I used
never.
to calm down. And then when I was okay, the next weekend I'd bust your butt. And they were like, how can you do this? I said, because I'm calm now, I'm good. I'll beat you the next weekend. I'm not beating you the same day because I'd probably do something bad. So I won't beat you the same day. That's just me. But everybody does their stuff differently. I'll come back to you and I'll tell you, it's time for your beating.
I'll tell you something right now. I don't think Daddy took the same approach.
No, Daddy didn't take. He beat you right away.
He'll beat me mad.
Yeah, he'll beat you.
And I'll be like, yo, bro. You're missing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, my back.
Your back.
My back was hurting.
But that's all right. I used to beat my brother because he did some serious stuff.
That's what people don't even understand. Siblings could beat each other because of the hierarchy.
You're right.
You're an older sibling.
I'm older.
And it's a West Indian.
That's a West Indian
Right,
thing.
so you used to beat your younger brother.
And I still go to my sister before I can do anything when it comes to the family and certain things that we have. Even though I'm the second, I still have to speak to the first. And we speak to each other before anything is done. And when she says something, I will say, well, I don't think so. But technically, basically, since she's older.
Can I ask you about retirement? Because
sure.
We went to your retirement tea.
Yeah.
Last week, and my God, when I tell you, mommy, I did not.
That was the third one of 4.
Mommy,
and I still have 3 more to go to.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I did not expect what I saw at that. I mean, you've worked there for 32 and a half years, but I've seen the stories online where people work at a spot for 32 and a half years and they get like a bucket after they leave or like a little bit of team swag and that's it. I'm expecting like we're gonna see a few folks, they'll come, they'll drink tea, laugh, hug, and then we out of there.
Yeah.
We pull up in that hospital, it was like you was a celebrity. We clearing we going through x-rays, we don't got no problems. We go to the spot.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you. Oh, Kathleen, oh, I'm so happy to see you. They're crying. Grown. And granted, this is the platform for it. There's nothing wrong with a grown man crying. But the amount of grown men I saw crying at your retirement tea, you would have thought somebody passed away.
I know. I'm sorry, I don't want to laugh, but
yo, mommy, I was in there like, yo, dog,
what's going on?
Yo, what is happening right now? Yeah. People would see you and just break out into tears. I was like, yo, we was in the elevator. The lady was like, yo, here goes monsoon, because there's another lady coming in. And they're like, hold on, Monsoon, don't start crying now. The lady is literally holding her, like she's trying her hardest to hold her tears, mommy. I'm like, yo, nah, son. To the point Naima starts crying.
I know, I saw her. She said, I couldn't help it.
I told Naima, I said, yo, get it together, son. Yo, stop it right now, son. Like, yo, get it together. Mommy.
I love those people.
No, I clearly, and they love you too.
Yeah.
What was your how has that felt for you, retiring? Because there's a lot of folks that either won't retire because they're not working like that or never get that experience. I feel like you've really got to receive your flowers after working plus, because we have a lot, actually, literally, there's so many flowers in the kitchen right now. Flowers we had to give away.
Yeah.
Flowers that already died because we got them. And we've had so many flowers come in here. How has that felt for you?
Surreal. Right? Mm-hmm. So, first of all, I didn't think that they kind of let it slip. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was one party.
Right.
But the first one was the play to the Lion King, and then dinner, with the people that I'm in charge of. And it was an unbelievable experience. That was the first one. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh my God. The second one was at the lounge at the hospital. Oh my God. The colors of the flag for Trinidad, red, white, and black. The balloons. Usually I bring breakfast for Saturday crew. And they set it up as though I was giving breakfast to everyone. So it was very personal. And the gifts, the flowers, the other presents, I thought that was great. Mm-hmm. Then I had the tea party. And again, that one, everybody, you didn't see that one. Because he was supposed to be there also. The crying and stuff. Then they had the one for the hospital, the tea party. And again, for the 2 hours, everybody crying and begging me to stay, or not begging, but asking. It was unreal. Then the one at the door last Saturday had about 40 people there. I mean, unexpected, beautiful. And I still have 3 more events. And I'm already retired.
You're booked and busy. Booked and busy. So you're saying it felt surreal.
It still feels surreal because I'm still living.
Going through it. Mm-hmm. Do you feel appreciated?
Appreciated, respected, and loved beyond words. Those people are my family at work. You're my family here.
Yeah.
And you're number one. But I spend a lot of my days with those folks.
Right. You talk about from 4:30 to basically like 8.
I had a dinner also, another dinner I forgot with the Filipino crew. I call them that. Right? So, and in that dinner, and I'll say it here also because it is the truth. I told them when I first came to HSS, I met them. I didn't know who they were. I thought they were Chinese at first. They're like, Chinese? I was like, well, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And I said, it is from their family ethics, their family values, and how they look at each other that I realized where that culture came from. That everybody call everybody mommy, papi, tita. So up to this day, I still call people mommy, papi. I don't use tita, but it's mommy and papi, right? And I thank them for what they brought to that hospital. Because if it wasn't for them, that culture wouldn't continue to exist. And it is their caring and their loving way for their family, from little to old, that everyone stays at home. No one goes into nursing home. They take care of their family.
Right.
Right? So that type of culture family that we brought here. So when you go into a place like that, that's built like that, and you know that everybody has your back, how could you want to go home? You love to go to work. I love to go to work. I love to meet those people. They're the best. The best people to work with on the planet, the best. The people that I work with I almost said the hospital's name. The people I work with at that hospital are some of the best people. I mean, from the unit assistants who I love, some of the most intelligent people I've met, right? Because even though they're doing that job, some of them have math degrees, all these psych degrees, and all sorts of engineering and going on to medical school, all sorts of degrees in the back there. A diverse set of people, right? From them to nurses, to CRNAs, to anesthesiologists, to doctors, X-ray technologists, spinal cord monitoring, to the anesthesia technologists. I mean,
you name it.
You name it in that place. And even also the woman who brings the food for all of us.
Yeah, the lady that was
and the cleaning lady who is there. Lalicha, I think is her name. Beautiful, beautiful people. Do their jobs, friendly, come to work happy. I mean, it is a beautiful place to work. And I hope, for God in heaven's sake, that they maintain the beautiful culture.
Yeah, I hope so too. Because one of the things I saw there is like everybody was like
afraid.
Yeah, everybody was afraid that you were leaving because you've been such an advocate for them. So I'm hoping.
Myself also. They're concerned.
Yeah, for sure. What's one thing that you want folks to know about when it comes to working for 32 years, 32 and a half years at the same place?
Working 32 and a half years at the same place. Lots of changes. You have to be flexible. You must be able to be flexible. There is always a good side, a bad side, and the middle. So you can decide whether you want to go to the left or to the right or to blend and try to make both sides work so that at the end of the day, the majority of the staff is comfortable and not just one or two people and the rest of us are unhappy. In anything that you do in work, and everyone knows, I'll be your friend. You and I'll be the best of friends. We'll laugh, we'll joke, and whatever. But when it comes time to work, I ain't got no friend. I have no friend when it comes to working. When you're on your job, you're getting paid because you ain't got no friend when your check is $1 short. Well, I ain't have no friend when you give me half-ass work either. Because you expect to be paid 100% of your salary, I expect 100% of your work. End of story. So everybody knows that. Once you do what you're supposed to do, it all works well. We're there. You're in healthcare. Whether you're a nurse, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a PA, if you're in the room together, we're all working for the benefit of that patient on the table. The patient is quiet. You are the patient's advocate. Anything that you see, anything that you think is going wrong, you have to speak up. It's just like the subway. If you see something, you have to say something. We know that already. That's what we do every day.
Right.
So with that, two ends of the spectrum, things change. You have to be flexible. You have to work with each other. Okay, the unit assistant didn't pick up the paper from the floor, but you're right there. Don't step over it. Pick it up and put it in the trash can. We're working together to get the rooms turned over, to get everything going, to get it done safely.
Yeah.
And for the best interest of the patient and for us also.
I want to pivot a little bit because I don't ask you for relationship advice ever.
I'll give it to you whether you want it or not.
Yeah, that's true. You definitely do. One thing I respect about you and Daddy is even when I've had some questionable past relationships and you guys were concerned.
Yes, I was concerned.
Let's not get into that.
I'm not getting into. I just said I was concerned.
Every time we get into that relationship, you start saying,
"Yeah, I'm a."
Yo.
I'm not saying it.
I know. Just
don't bring that.
Chill. Just chill.
I'm chill.
Just chill. Every time we talk about the past relationship, you start going
young
all
ladies.
crazy. Yeah, that's the word. That's not the word you've been using, but we'll
please,
stick
I'm not
with that
going to
one.
use that
We'll stick with that one. We'll stick with that one.
Yeah, young lady. Question mark.
All right. Let me ask you some relationship advice.
Yeah.
You and Daddy have been married for how long?
I don't know, 28 years, 29 years.
29 years.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell do you stay married for 29 years?
Your father is a quiet man, and he deals with a lot because this woman ain't easy.
Oh, you know?
No, I know I'm difficult, but your father character, when I push your father to the edge, I know, because then he snaps. I was like, oh, you better be of yourself, because you're pushing this quiet man to the edge. That's not good.
That is so bad. All right, go ahead.
Right? Mm-hmm. No, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
But your father knows also when he pushes me to the edge too.
Mm-hmm.
It's about respect. It's the same reason with the job. It comes down to respect. So I've done some stuff that hasn't been the most respectful for your dad. And he told me, just like when I put the security system in and didn't speak to him first, that was wrong. Absolutely wrong. And I'll still apologize today for that, because it was wrong, right? Anything we do, we always talk to each other about it. Even if I don't like what he says, we have to go back and forth.
Right.
Let me tell you about my door. I wanted this sliding door. Ladies and gentlemen, please forgive me. I wanted this sliding door. Pella. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all good.
Beautiful door, wooden, Venetian blind, everything. I got to think custom. The man in the store said, this door, at that time, still COVID, because wood, they can't get wood. They can't get wood, and they can't get all this stuff. Your father with me. I want my door. Ain't nothing your father or anybody at that time could tell this crazy black woman about that, not getting that door. The man said the door is going to be $8,000.
What?
Your father said
US dollars?
$8,000 US dollars, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to understand that. $8,000. So I said, okay. Your father said, Kathleen. I said, I want my door. I want my door. I want my door. So your father saw the nuttiness already. I said, half of it going on your credit card, half of it going on mine. And there is nothing at that point in time that my husband could have told me, because it would have been war in there, that I wasn't getting that door. So he realized that the madness had already set. So this is the first time he let it alone. When I got the door installed, anytime anybody comes in my house, I said to them, this is what madness does. I said, come, let me show you my $8,000 door. I don't know what the hell got into me that I would pay $8,000 for that. So ladies and gentlemen, we all allowed one moment of madness. That was mine. I said, Jesus Christ, I spent $8,000 on this door. I still bring everybody to see my $8,000 door.
So you're telling me the key is knowing
when to say yes, when to say no, when to be quiet, when to speak, but at the same time to have utmost respect. That's all I can say. You have to communicate, really.
Nah.
If you don't talk to each other and don't let each other know how you feel, sometimes craziness does happen. And there's nothing you can do about it. No matter what the person tell you, you're set in your way and you realize, well, I'm backing off. because there's nothing I can do.
Mm-hmm.
But when the person come back to reality, they say, why you make me do that? No, it's their fault.
Mm-hmm.
Because you made me do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who I gonna blame? I can't blame myself.
I think I've gotten good at that. Like, I'm not obviously no expert on it, but there's times where I'll notice with Naima, I'm like, oh, yeah, she's having a moment.
Yeah, you leave it alone.
And I'm just like, you know what?
I'm
not gonna.
Nope.
I know I'm right, but we'll talk about it later.
You have to talk about it later.
Yeah.
Let it settle, and then you speak about it later.
But it takes a certain level of emotional intelligence and just self-control. I didn't have that when I was younger.
Oh, we know.
All right, come on now.
Well.
But now that I'm older,
we see the difference.
All right, Jesus.
I'm just saying.
I pick my spots. Mm-hmm. So with Naima, like I'll know, I'm like, oh, she's tripping. Like we've had a moment like that before where I was in her crib, and I don't know what happened. Like I think I responded to a text late because she had sent the text, then she came into the crib, and we were talking. So I'm not gonna respond to the we're talking now. Then the next day, like I think I ended up responding to it, or like no, I didn't even respond to it. I was like, oh babe, I saw this text, and I verbally told her the answer, and she was like upset. I was like, why are you so mad? But then I was like, you know what? She's tripping. I ain't do nothing wrong. I'ma just go in the other room. I'll wait for her to
calm down,
work this thing out, and then we'll have a conversation later. She was still mad later, but we ended up talking about it. She was like, and it was a better conversation than we would have had if I had went down the route of trying to prove my point in the moment. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, you weren't winning that battle.
No, for sure. I know, and that's what I'm saying. You gotta know how to pick your battles because in that moment, I was like, yo, there's nothing me saying right now. There's nothing I can say right now that's going to actually make this make sense to her because she's in the middle of something. So I'm just going to remove myself. I'm going to still be available if she wants to have a conversation. I'll go do my own thing, and then we'll get back to it.
That's what it is. But sometimes you have to remove yourself. I tell your dad has the little office space in the back there. Mm-hmm. Your father is someone who is very family oriented, right? He will do everything for you all. Mm-hmm. And make sure, even if you're all old now, he still will do for you. But one thing he won't put up with is nonsense. Mm-hmm. Right? So once you make your mark and you're doing and this family is very big on going to school and getting an education.
Oh, for sure.
Right? Oh, yeah, we want you to have that piece of paper. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't do anything with it and they decide to panhandle in the street, I don't care as long as you have your paper in your hand. Right? Because I know you got your education. Ain't nobody can take that from you.
True.
Even if you self-educate, I'm fine. But you got to do something.
Right.
West Indians are not about you going on the system. Mm-hmm. The system? Oh, hell to the no. The system? Get up. Get an education. The United States is free money to go to school. I have to say it like that because other places it's difficult to go to school. Mm-hmm. You can get a loan. You're making certain salaries. You can get Pell. You can get all this kind of stuff. TAP to go to school to get an education. You can go to trade school. You can do too much in this country to be in the corner doing nothing.
They're going to hate that.
You can do too much in this country to be on the corner doing nothing. And when I say be on the corner doing nothing, I'm not talking about the Africans who come here and set up their shops on the corner or the people who have their little carts and set up their stuff that they're selling and trying to make $1 because I'm telling you at the end of the day, all those dollars that they're making, they're going to save to buy their store. That is their thinking. What I'm talking about is young men out of school who literally finish school, have no intentions of doing anything else, have no goals set for themselves in life, and they're in the corner playing drafts. That is what I mean. Too much in the United States for you to waste your time doing nothing. And then want to look in the system and blame the system. And then want to look at the white man and blame him. No, look in the mirror and blame that person. That's who you blame.
They going hate.
Because you have the same tools that a lot of us have here. I wasn't born here, and I use the same tools that are here to get to where I'm at. I worked hard, went to school, went to high school, went into the military, did what I had to do to get to where I'm at. It was not easy because I wasn't born with a gold spoon, just like you all. But I put the work in and the time in, and this is where I'm at today at 59 years old, retired.
You 59?
Don't worry about how old I am. I'm 59. Yes.
Damn, son.
No damn nothing, son.
Damn.
I'll be 60 July.
But obviously, y'all can see where I get my work ethic from.
Work hard.
Not only do you, have you worked 32 and a half years, but you had the mindset of, yo, I'm going to get to it. And I had that same mindset. That's why when people talk about like the white man stopping you from doing this and like, don't get me wrong, I understand systemic racism. I understand all the different things
all of that also
that we experience as Black people in this country.
I understand all of that.
But what I don't do is let that limit what is possible for me.
Correct.
Because a lot of times what people do is systemic racism. That means I can't do anything. I'm
blocked. I can't go on, because there are too many obstacles in the road. I wish they could tell that to Martin Luther King. I wish they could tell that to Mahatma Gandhi. Tell it to Frederick Douglass. Okay? Tell it to all the people in the Underground Railroad. Tell it to all of these people who sacrificed. And people may not want to hear this. They sacrificed to get us to this point. They did. Because if it wasn't for their work, their efforts, putting their lives at risk to get us to be at this point, so you don't need to be in the corner. Go to school.
One of the things that you always told me growing up that is like ingrained in my head. Ingrained. Kofi? Go to school and get an education so you don't have to struggle as much as I did growing up.
Yep.
Go to school and get an education so you don't have to work as much as me.
Yep.
Go to school and get an education so boom, 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 boom.
So you can stop working at a certain age.
Always.
Go to school.
Always.
So it is not easy. And like you were saying when they were talking about the obstacles that are placed in our way, the obstacles are still here and the obstacle will always be there. They're just covered by rose bushes now. They're still the same obstacle. But one thing I will not let those obstacles do, not to stop me. You put it there, there's always a way. You either drive straight through it, climb over it, dig a hole under it, go left or right. Find a way, go over that obstacle. Get around it somehow. There is always a way. You know why I know that? Because every morning when you get up and you want to sit in the corner and you want to get your beer, your marijuana or whatever, there are obstacles in your way too. But you find a way around it to get to that point because that is your goal. So find another goal.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh, man. Yo, you're funny, son. You're funny. Saying. You know how I know you're passionate about school? Because we were literally talking about daddy. We were talking about daddy and you went straight into school.
Yeah, because your father went to school. He came here, right? And was doing security duty. And I said to him, he wanted to go to school to do business. I said, you want to do business here? I'm telling you right now, because your father is dark. Let me just let everybody know. He dark.
I mean, obviously they can tell he dark. You light skinned. How the hell did I get this dark?
He's dark.
So, Mommy, you kind of light skinned.
I'm not. So anyhow.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Mommy.
I'm not. So anyhow, he went to school.
To me, you light skinned.
I ain't like. So he was doing the security And I said, we had a discussion. I said, he wants to do business. He wants to trade and do this type of stuff. I said, okay. I said, with your complexion, let me just say this in the United States. I know you're going to be good, but as soon as you get to the business world and they see you, the first thing they'll tell you is the job is filled. He graduated the top of his class at Baruch in 3 years. Business. So online application, all these honors, I mean, serious honors. They were like, yeah, the job is yours. And I said, I'm telling you, don't get your hopes up, please. So as soon as he would get there, they would tell him, I'm sorry, the job is filled. Over and over, time and time again. And he didn't give up. He went on probably same amount of interviews as you, over 100 and something. Plus, couldn't get a job because as soon as they see him, they would tell him, because these, no offense, white-owned companies, they would tell him the job is filled. And their, I guess, persona of what a business person is supposed to look like is not somebody of his complexion selling their or talking about their stuff to other people that don't look like him. So, of course, the job was filled. So he decided to go volunteer at the hospital I worked at in order to get, not even to get a job right away. It took 2 years of volunteering. He had to give them 2 years of free service before they would even hire him. Right? That's how difficult it was for him.
And he still persevered and made it through.
And he still, with all of that, worked to the T and was able to retire. We have no regrets because all of those experiences in life just build and make you stronger. It ain't gonna weaken us. It will make us better.
Speaking about building and making you stronger, you just talked about being 59. You're older. I'll say kind of on the older end.
Excuse me? Don't ever refer to me as being a kind of on the older end. Really? You old too.
I'm joking.
Your number that come after that say 32 old. 32 years old. I don't hear nobody saying 32 years young. I'm 59 years old young. Not old young, but young.
Young. You're 59 years young. Let me ask you, what has been the best and worst parts of aging?
The best part of aging is this. Watching you all grow, because now you all are adults and I get to see that. I get to see what each of you, because your personalities are all different. And it is any mother's wish to see what their child's next chapter will be like. So I'm getting to see your next chapter, Alex's chapter, and your girlfriends. Oh God, I love them all. Oh my God, they're beautiful. I love those people. Naima, oh my God, and Stella. I love Stella to death. Naima, you too. Oh my God, love, love, love. Beautiful women. Oh my God, great. Now I forget the rest of the question, talking about Stella and them so much.
You love them so much.
I forget.
You love them so much, you forgot where we're going.
Yeah.
All right. The best and worst parts of getting older, Mama.
Oh no, just seeing you all grow up and stuff like that. The worst part for me of getting older is the fact that that's why I'm coughing so much, so that you all will understand. I was diagnosed with sarcoid, which affects my lungs when I was like 32. And they don't know what brings it on, but it just comes on in young Black women. And I was one of the fortunate women to get that. Right? So and to see that my lung capacity and stuff is like deteriorating. Now it's coming to a plateau, but if I don't like using the inhaler. So my lungs are getting bogged up today. That's why I'm coughing. So that's the worst part.
The worst part is ailments.
It's aging and ailments.
Best
and not
part,
being able to do what, physically what I used to do when I was in my 20s. A lot of stuff.
We gotta get you in the gym.
Oh, forget the gym. Me and the gym make good friends.
Yo, you was going in the gym for a little bit.
Could we not talk about the gym? The gym is like a bad word in this house, except for you and Naima and Stella and Alex
You was
and
going
Kofi and Kwame and whoever else.
Kofi's sitting right here.
I know Kwame. I know. I forget your name already.
No, Jesus. You go through like 8 names before you get to my name.
I got two. I only said 2.
All right. I mean, that's better than
Then going through all the names.
Man, sometimes.
Hey, don't you have to tell everybody that?
Alex, Kofi, Clinton, Philip, Kofi.
Whatever your name is, you know who you are. Just come.
I'm like, bruh, how did that name get in here? You don't even talk to this person.
I know.
Like, that's what I don't understand.
It's the name.
That's what I don't be getting.
It's a name.
Man, so he said ailments. That's why I'm going to the gym, man, because I'm trying to be like, when I'm 50-something, I'm trying to be active.
But you have that good African in you. Your father is like a bull. He is strong like an ox. He's good. But I'm saying he's physically fit.
All right. I didn't know where you was going with that.
I'm not talking sexual. I'm talking just physically fit like yourself.
Okay.
Your father's a strong dude. So he will take care of himself also. So when they told him his cholesterol was up, he's like, yeah, no more red meat, no goat, no, this, no. I said, no shrimp and nothing like none. I said, but that don't tell you have to stop. That means that you have to watch what you eat. You don't have to eat it every day.
So how do we get you to start taking better care of yourself?
Why you say I'm taking bad care of myself?
I mean,
because I eat all my cake for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Because I didn't want to waste it?
No. No. You getting all these retirement sugary snacks and bakery goods and all these different cupcakes and cakes.
They keep giving me stuff.
And you in the kitchen talking about, I'm going to eat cupcakes for breakfast, lunch, and I'm like, yo, why would you do that?
I don't want to throw it away.
And what did I say to you earlier? I said, does it make sense for you to
throw in my health?
Poison yourself to save them money?
I said
that they don't even know you saving them?
I said, yeah.
That don't make sense, mommy. So back to the question.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to slip and slide out of here.
No.
How do we get you
back to the gym?
Not back to the gym, just to take better care. So what can I do?
Can I get a mommy makeover?
No. Hell no.
Hey, I want a mommy makeover.
No.
I want to take it from the front and put it to the back. Stop laughing. This is real deal. I want a kadunk like Edna. People don't understand that, so it's all good. Yeah, you know what that means. Stop it.
Oh my God. Nah, you're mad funny, son.
Kadunk.
Nah, you're mad funny.
So when you're running, you gotta hold it so it doesn't. You gotta hold on to it so you.
Yo, you're not getting a mommy makeover, mommy.
I don't see why. Ladies and gentlemen, why is it that I can't have a mommy makeover?
Let me explain to you why you can't have a mommy makeover.
No, you don't tell me what I can do.
You're 59 years old.
I'm 59 years young.
They don't do them for those ages.
I have Dr. Gale. He can do it for me.
Dr. Gale ain't gonna know what the hell to do with you.
Dr. Gale knows exactly what I want.
You don't need a mommy makeover.
Why not?
Okay, let me tell you how you get a mommy makeover.
I ain't going to the gym.
You wake your booty up the same time you used to wake up to go to work.
4 o'clock in the morning?
Whatever. Come get in the car with me.
You paid for my gym subscription?
I was paying for it, and then you came one time and you didn't go again.
So how could I go when I have to work? I was home.
You're done working now. What's your excuse?
I don't want to go.
You need to come to the gym. Go to the gym with me. We're gonna go right there. We'll set you up with something light. Remember when we was going, you weren't doing nothing crazy. I had you doing anything crazy in there? No. You was in there just because I'm trying to get you to
Is there going to be a sugar daddy there?
Nah.
Well, then I ain't going.
We ain't got that for you.
Well, I can't go.
You don't need no sugar daddy. You got daddy.
Yeah, but he's in Ghana. He won't know. Don't tell him.
You don't need no sugar daddy. You
I'm
don't need
telling
no
you.
more sugar.
You need a sugar daddy. You need a
You don't
sugar
need
daddy.
no more sugar, son. What you need is to get your
What
booty
I
in the
need-
gym.
Seriously, what I do need is to get in the gym.
So how can we do that?
I have to dust off the Peloton first. I didn't tell everybody I have a Peloton now, because I know you're gonna tell them sooner or later.
No, I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Yeah,
you the one that's
I know you're
feeling
gonna tell
guilty
them.
about it.
I have a Peloton, ladies and gentlemen. The Peloton sitting on there as a coat rack.
What happened when you first bought the Peloton?
I love that Peloton. I was working it.
When you first bought the Peloton, you said to me and Daddy.
I'll be working that Peloton.
You said to me and Daddy, you said, I'm about to get a Peloton. I'm about to get a used Peloton. I said, Mommy, why are you getting a Peloton for you to just watch it like a painting?
I love it. It looks pretty.
Now you have the Peloton. You just use it as a coat rack.
Yeah.
We got to get you in the gym, baby.
No.
How do we do that?
If you
No, seriously, what time work for you, though?
4 o'clock is good for me. Because
4 a.m.?
No. It's too early.
4 p.m.?
No, that's too late.
So what you saying, 4
What
o'clock?
time works for you?
I go at 4 a.m.
Yeah, 4 a.m. is
4:30.
fine. That's fine. At least
I get
because
there at
that
5.
gets your body working and your cardiovascular system pumped up, and you
So
feel
you will
good.
come to the gym with me at 5.
5 o'clock is late. Yeah.
5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Oh God, what are you trying to do to me so soon? I can't eat for the rest of the week first.
No. Tomorrow.
Okay. Oh my God.
You going to the gym with me tomorrow, 5 a.m.
Sure.
All right, cool. I'm gonna introduce you to my trainer. I'll put you on my gym membership, pay the extra bread, and you'll pull up. We're gonna get you right.
After that, can we go to breakfast?
No, I have work.
That's you. You could drop
I have
me
a
off.
strict regimen.
Like I said, you need to change up your regimen.
I can't tomorrow because I got to plan content for the rest of the week for these folks that consume content all the time. We could do that. We could do that on Thursday,
No,
potentially.
I don't want to go to breakfast.
Okay.
I don't need to go to breakfast.
All right.
I need my eggs and spinach.
You got spinach in here?
No. And I don't even have eggs either.
All right, I'm interrupting this podcast episode to let you guys know to leave a review on the podcast. Please, 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 if you are listening to this episode and you're finding value in this episode, you're enjoying the conversation, or you've enjoyed a previous episode or conversation, and it's safe to operate your phone right now, please leave us a review. Your review is a free and easy way to support us, and it helps us reach more people like you. We're on a mission to build a stronger, more connected Black community, starting with Black men. And you can help us on that mission by taking a minute out of your day to leave a review. Your review helps us generate more listeners, which in turn generates more revenue, allowing us to expand the platform even further. So please take a few seconds out of your day. I know you're busy. I understand. I know you're doing a lot, but it will help us greatly if you would just take a few seconds out of your day to leave a review right now. Did you leave a review yet? All right, let's get back to the episode. What do you feel like is the best part of your relationship with Daddy?
The best part of my relationship with your father.
Mm-hmm.
I only see your father like how many hours a week. Now I get to see him forever.
I'm sure he's excited about that.
Yeah, because I always was like, we have to go on vacation, we have to do this and that.
Mm-hmm.
We never had time. The best part of my relationship with your dad is your father is, I don't even know what is every part of your father is just so, I don't even know what the word to use. Your father is just such a good person, right? I don't even know how to explain this. To say I'm the luckiest woman on the planet would be an understatement. Don't tell him that either. Damn, I'm hyping him up like crazy.
You don't have these women in his DMs. If you had DMs.
To say that I'm the luckiest person is such an understatement
Mm.
because he is the best and he brings out the best
Mm.
in me.
Mm.
I love your father to death. I will tell you this. I just want to die before he does.
Why?
Because I know I won't be able to stay on this planet.
You is that way?
I wouldn't be able to.
Did you hear there's a study or there's a thing where one person's partner passes and then the other person
So I
passes
know
very shortly after?
your father is stronger than me when it comes to that. I won't be able to.
You wouldn't be able to handle my daddy passing before
Oh
you?
God, no.
God forbid. Well, now I know if that, God forbid that happens, well, you're going to need a lot of family.
I wouldn't be able to stay in that house. I would have to leave. I don't know, unless I have a lot of work to do. That would really, but it's still at the end of the day, at some point in the day, you're by yourself.
But daddy prays to never get to an age where he has to be taken care of, right?
I'll take care of him.
But he prays against that. He doesn't want to be taken care of.
I don't care what he pray against. It's the same thing. He said he don't want blood. I said, well, you better put it on a piece of paper because I'm going to douse you in it.
What? Douse him in what?
Your father does not, if anything medically goes wrong with him, he has said to me that he doesn't want to be transfused. I said, you better put it in writing because this wife you have will make sure they give you every drop in the hospital.
Why doesn't he want a transfusion? What's wrong with him?
Because he's like a Jehovah's Witness in that respect. And I'm like,
he thinks blood from somebody else?
I don't care where it come from. You're getting it. So I tell him, you better make sure you correct that. Make sure you put it in writing. Make sure it's wherever. Because your wife, when they come and ask her, blood, she said yes. She was saying yes, yes, and yes.
What's one thing you want my kids to know once I have kids?
One thing I want your kids to know is that you weren't always perfect.
Who wasn't always perfect?
You.
Me?
Nobody was perfect.
I've always been perfect.
No, you haven't. Nobody's perfect. With your lied self, when you was younger, you think people don't know?
What you mean?
Oh, stop it.
Don't
even try. Yeah, please. Who are you talking to? You all think you all getting away with stuff? Please.
I did lie about a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, you all think when you're, I said, listen to this.
I lied about a lot.
Please. You all think people don't know? Your lied self, you weren't perfect. You appear to look perfect, but you weren't. We all know that. Your brother, on the other hand, we know he wasn't perfect, and he made sure we know he wasn't perfect. He didn't hide that.
So that's the one thing you want them to know, is that I wasn't perfect?
Because kids always think that their parents are perfect, that we don't make mistakes, that we just got to this point like this, and we were never their age. They need to understand that everything that they're going through, that we've already passed it. So this is why when we're telling you to do this instead of this, it's not because we're trying to tell you that what you're doing is wrong. It's because we're telling you, because we've already experienced it, and we want you not to fall into the same pit and trap and to try and claw your way out that we did. So if you take the time to ask us a question, and we, on the other hand, are patient enough to understand why you're asking, then there's growing taking place.
That's a wise answer, because I'm like, why you want to tell them I'm not perfect, man? Like, what's wrong with you? But no, I get it completely. Wow. Okay. What's one thing you want Naeem and I to know going into our next step? You don't gotta say what the next step is, because I don't want these folk in my business. But
no, I don't know what the next step is either. You ain't tell me really.
You know what the next step is. Don't be just out here lying.
So
go ahead.
What I want you to know is the same thing. That there will be a lot of people in your business. A lot. Everybody looking from the outside, telling you stuff. But there are several sides to a story. His version, my version, and the real version. You know each other. Don't allow people to put a wedge between you. You know each other. too long for outside people who sometimes envy what you have to put a wedge in between, because people who know you will do that. People who are jealous will do that.
Mm.
So know each other. If there's a problem, speak on it
To each other.
to each other.
What's one of the things that you want me to remember
Me, Daddy,
after you're gone?
one of the things that I want you to remember is that even though she was strict, even though she worked hard, even though she appeared that, she doesn't want to show emotions to you, because I know you all are very particular, but I'm not a very touchy-lovey kind of people. They always want to hug and stuff, and I'm like, get away, right? So, and that's a weakness on my part. Know this, that you are all loved. Know this, but even though I love you, I would still cut your ass. That doesn't mean that you're not loved. Beatings, discipline, punishment doesn't mean that you're loved. If it's anything, it's a sign that you are loved, because your parents want to do what is best for you, and they don't want you slipping on to the wrong track. So if they don't love you, they'll let you roam. And I'm telling you that. If they love you, they will hold in that string and they will pull you back. Those reins, they will hold on tight. That's how I feel. You have to discipline. You're showing love, yes. Huggy, touchy, feely and stuff, that's what everybody does. I mean, you do it with me and I'm like always telling you to get up, but it doesn't mean that I don't love. Even Eleanor, Eleanor's my sister, was telling me, her daughter was doing it to her and she was like, oh God, give me a break. I don't know what it is with this family.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. Why, well, I'm not going to say y'all, I'll just speak about you specifically because that's what I'm concerned with. Why are you so opposed to physical touch, kisses, hugs, that kind of thing? Where do you feel like that comes from? Or do you even know?
Yeah, I know where that comes from, but
you don't want to dive into that?
No, I can dive into that, but I won't go into depth into that. So there's stuff that happens to you when you're younger that makes you set yourself apart from others when stuff is said. So words, even though they win, they have a lot of weight. And even though a child is young, they hear what is being said and it does impact them and it impacts me.
Really?
Right?
So something was said when you were younger that made you not...
something was said and done. So right. So for that reason, it's kind of difficult
for you to
and it sounds like a lame thing, but I can't go into no, it will sound lame to people who don't understand, and I can't expect them to understand without delving into stuff, and then that'll bring up a lot of stuff.
And that we don't need to get into all of that today.
That is too much negativity.
Yeah.
I'm not about negativity. I'd rather not discuss. When I used to work, it was a high stress environment, so I would always make lesser jokes. That's what they were talking to you.
Yeah,
you're always making us laugh. I say, yeah, because it's too much stress. We're trying to save people's lives. We're trying to do what's best. And sometimes you go in there and things happen and we have to correct certain things and stuff like that. And the stress is unbelievable. So I don't like stress. I like to make people laugh. And in order to reduce the stress before the case starts, it's a lot of jokes. I mean, tons of jokes. People smile, they relax and everything, right? And then we go on to the serious business of getting work done.
So you feel like something happened when you were younger, or something was said when you were younger that now makes you adverse to physical love and touch, that kind of thing?
I ain't saying physical love. Who tell you physical love?
All right, let's not.
I love my husband.
All right. All right.
So people ask me, how you met your husband?
Mm-hmm.
How he got close to you?
Yeah, that's what I said. How did that? Yeah.
God knows who's for you.
Mm.
And all those obstacles will overcome. It's like they're not there. I don't know how else to
So you didn't
explain
have
it.
that with daddy?
Oh no, your father's not.
Really?
No.
So let me ask you this. So if we're in the house, right? You know how I come, you go sit in your chair.
You know what daddy is, right?
Yeah. All right, relax. Hold on. Calm down. You're going a little deep on the deep end. We come in the house, right? You're in the chair in the kitchen. I go into the kitchen and I try to give you a kiss. Obviously, you shoo me away.
Yeah,
that's not.
so get
If
off
daddy
me.
came right after me and tried to give you a kiss, would you shoo him away too?
I would, because you don't do that.
Okay.
Your father don't do that. Your father is private. Like private. I was going to say Private Benjamin, but that's a girl.
So you're saying
your father, when we met and stuff, even to hold hands on the street was problematic. He'll tell you no, but that was the truth, right? But your father is very loving. Your father don't believe in holidays, so
no, he don't. He doesn't.
Presents and stuff like that. He don't do that.
No.
He shows his affection different ways, which is fine.
How does he show his affection to you?
It's not about those holidays and stuff, really, because every day is Christmas, every day is your birthday, every day is Mother's Day, every day is Father's Day, every day is Valentine's Day. It's by what you do every day. So the simple things, the fact that your father, when I come home from working, there's dinner there. He don't have to do it. When I come home, the laundry's done. Because sometimes he knows I would come to run straight to the... He's like, no, I already did it. I was like, oh, thank you. Oh, my God. Thank you so much. And then he's like, yeah, boy, you don't need to thank me. Okay? Because it's both of us, technically, he's telling me.
Right.
It's a team thing. I see. I can't expect you to come home after all of that. You've been gone since 4 o'clock this morning, and you're not coming back to do it. No. Or you go to the grocery. Or it's just the simple things that you do every day, except you'll walk over the piece of paper that's on the floor.
And that'll be the one thing that you mentioned.
You do it too.
Oh my God. Who does it?
All of y'all do it.
Do what?
Listen, one day there's
what?
a piece of paper right there by the end of that step. I said, Jesus Christ, you mean to tell me nobody see that paper? I said, well, let me leave it. This is what West Indians do. I'm sorry. Let me leave it. Day one, he's still there. I watch you step over it. I watch your father step over it, your brother step over it. I said, really? Day two, it was still there. I picked it up after. All right? That is just, men don't see. No offense, men. Sorry. Your eyes sometimes are closed to certain little things.
To the details.
And that stuff is annoying to me. And my job, I have to pay attention to... I have to pay attention to details. So I must pay attention to details. This is a patient safety issue. So when I come in here, I see every bit of dirt, every place that hasn't been dust. I see everything, including the dirt I'm looking at right now. I'm not saying anything.
You know what I realized about you? When you talk about detail, it really dawned on me when we were talking about the kitchen renovations.
Oh God, let's not start there, please.
I'm in the kitchen with you, and
it was renovated.
The kitchen was renovated, and we're talking about the kitchen renovations. I think the kitchen looks fantastic. I'm asking you about your opinion on the kitchen, and you're telling me about all the things that you feel like didn't go right. And I'm like, why is this lady finding all of this negativity in this beautiful kitchen? And it wasn't until you had the third conversation with me about the same thing that I finally realized you and I are the exact same way, just with different things. You care about all the detail when it comes to this house, the kitchen, all the different things, because this is what you built. You've you've built, this is yours.
Yes.
You take pride and ownership in this. I care about all the details in the business. When I talk to my team and certain things aren't the way they want, the way I need them to be, I am very specific. And they know that. I will tell them multiple times it needs to be changed, whether it's a thumbnail or an edit, a subtitle, caption, you name it, it needs to be changed. Sometimes people will not even notice the attention to detail, but the attention to detail is there. And I realized I got that from you. In these conversations that I've had with you over the past 3 years of us, you know, of me living here and just being able to connect with you and Daddy more, I realized there's so much stuff about you that I have as well. And I used to think I was like Daddy, but I see how naive that thought process was, because if I'm obviously we'll say you're brown skin. I'm dark skin. Obviously everybody can see. So if I got my skin color and my looks from my dad, then I had to have gotten something from you.
I hope so. You got your life.
I had to, life, right, whatever, man. I had to have gotten something from you, which is your temperament and just how you are and how you go about things. And I was talking to someone on the podcast. Her name is Sunny, and she was talking about how mothers impart a lot of their DNA. Both parents do, but a lot of their temperament in their children. So if you have an anxious mom, child will be anxious. If you have a mom that's going through certain different types of traumas, that child may go through the same types of things. And I realized too with you, you are a very anxious lady.
I am. Especially now, especially after this job. I'm super anxious. That anxiety is like almost killing.
Yes. And I deal with a lot of anxiety too. And I also realized, just seeing you, that a lot of why the way you are is because of anxiety. And we weren't able to see it growing up. So you come in and you tripping out about stuff. I'm like, why the hell is this lady so mad about stuff? And as much as like in the surface is like, oh, she has anger issues. It really wasn't anger issues. It's your anxiety that's reached a certain level that's tipped over into anger. And it wasn't until I really started sitting and talking with you that I got to really understand more why you are the way you are. And you stop me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong in any of this?
No, you're not, but because when I come in here, for me, I have, the list is already up here. So before I get here, I'm already like, okay, I have 10 hours and I have to do 50 things. Okay, prioritize. Which one first? This. So if it doesn't follow, it doesn't get done, then I'm already behind before it starts. So it starts to build. And I'm like, oh my God, this isn't done. And I need to do this because I got to go to work tomorrow. I have to get up. You understand? I only have the weekend. The weekend is how long?
Right.
Very short.
Right.
And I have to prepare for a whole family in how many hours?
Right.
And try to get rest. So guess how many hours of rest was really taking place? Nothing. But I was so used to living on a few hours of sleep. Now I can't sleep long. I have to force myself to try and sleep.
You know, so it's so interesting that you say that, because, man, I'm telling you, like, that's why I say this is one of the greatest periods of my life. Not because I'm like super rich or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. It's just I'm able to really get a way better understanding of you and Daddy and just like how things are. Like, I told people, like, one of the greatest moments of my life was going to Ghana with Daddy.
Oh,
I will never be that. People ask me, Mommy, I'm telling you.
I wish I was there, but couldn't be.
I would never.
That's better for you and your dad.
Yeah, that was the greatest, honestly, one of the greatest moments of my life, because I just got to see him. It's different. It's seeing him here and seeing him in Ghana, two
different people.
Different things.
It's
two completely different things.
He is at home, and when he's there, he's the king.
Yeah, no, seriously though.
He is the king.
Seriously. And I was just like, yo.
So when I'm there, I am.
Yeah, you don't got to say nothing when you with him.
Nope. I
You don't
am
have to say
humble
anything.
and I stay quiet.
Everybody treats him with respect. He knows how to maneuver in certain situations.
Yep.
It just was a beautiful time, and just the stories and the conversations we were having. And so I'm saying all that to say, like, I'm just grateful for this time period in my life because I've been able to really just have really in-depth conversations with you guys. And I don't take it for granted because, like I said, I've seen folks that have lost their parents or don't have great relationships with their parents. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation with you, just to kind of create like a therapeutic route for some of the folks that may not have the best relationship with their mom. For you to be kind of not necessarily a surrogate mom, but like a second mom in a sense.
Yeah, but
where they can kind of live through this conversation vicariously, hopefully.
Well, even so we're talking about not having the best relationship with your parent, and I don't want to be not be completely honest with your audience and stuff because I have 4 children, but technically 3 of them are in my life. I love all 4, but yeah, put up 5 fingers, 4, right? But there is one who is distant and chooses to remain that way. And I cannot force someone to like me or want to be around me. And it is a little heartbreaking, to say the least, that you have a child that does not want to be around you, or if they want to be around you, want certain things and want to manipulate the situation, which ain't happening. Right? Child or child not ain't happening. Right? And that's just me. So we can have a conversation, yes. But what you say isn't 100%. And what I say isn't 100%. Like I said, we always have to meet somewhere in the middle.
Absolutely.
But if you want to dictate, and if you think that what you say should be the rule, and I have to put it this way because I have to be, I can't be specific.
Yeah, you gotta be vague.
Right.
Yeah.
Then it's not going to work.
Right.
You're an adult right now, and you may have your views on certain things, and I have my views on certain things. And you're like, well, mommy, you shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't be thinking like that. That's not right. And I said, well, you have your way. I have mine. You do yours. I do mine. And then you'll say, well, this, and this. And I say, well, you know what? I can agree with that. And if we can't agree, we go our separate ways. But later on, maybe I agree with what you say if the conversation arises again. But it can't be all or none because that ain't working for me.
Right. It don't work for most people. One of the things we've disagreed on, therapy.
That I ain't doing.
Why you ain't going? Why won't you go to a little couples therapy?
First of all,
or a little individual therapy.
I was a psych major.
Okay.
Right.
I didn't know you was a psych major.
Well, I'm a psych major. So
wow,
in nursing,
it's in my DNA.
I use it when I'm at work. So that's why they would tell you, and that's why those people love me and stuff like that. I like to listen to people. I like to hear what they have to say. And my years of experience, I use that because I only use my experience, the experience I have with my children, friends and stuff like that, and talk to young people. Usually they are a lot younger than me. One of the guys that was there whose daughter spoke on my behalf, who was going through some stuff. That's why the young lady said what they said and thanked me for helping their family and stuff like that, because the young man was going through a lot of stuff. It's still ongoing, and I still will keep in contact with all of them. Like today, I text everybody, God, down the whole list. They're like, why are you up at this hour? I say, it's 7:00. It's already late. I can't stay in that bed any longer. So I text everybody, morning, how you doing? Everybody text me like, and that was the morning conversation.
So therapy.
So they all sit, they come to my seat. Sometimes I'd be doing work, and that's why he would say, it didn't matter. She was busy enough. She stopped, turn around, and it's time to counsel.
No.
listen
What
to you.
about your counseling?
Me ain't going to counseling. So listen to this. I went to counseling when there was a certain event that took place in my life that you all don't even recall because you all were there with me also.
Wait a minute.
When that certain event took place, I don't want to say what it is, in my daughter's life.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And we went to counseling, right? And that counseling that they had for us wasn't enough for me. I went to counseling outside of that. I recognize when I need to go. I know when I need to go. Right? So you have to know when you're almost getting to the edge and you know that you need help. You got to seek help. Because if you're doing stuff that or thinking about stuff that you normally wouldn't think of, seek help. Please.
Were you there?
Huh?
Were you there?
That when that took place? You know, yes, I was. When I say there that day, I don't know because I left them in the care of others. I didn't know until after it was told to me.
No, I'm saying, were you there
with the counseling?
No, I'm saying, were you there in that place where you were thinking about doing something?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I wasn't thinking about doing something, but mentally I couldn't process
Right,
everything
what
that
had
went
happened.
right. So it keeps playing, and I'm like, I need to talk to somebody.
Right.
So I always recognize that. So that's why the last time when someone was diagnosed with a certain ailment, mental illness, and it was creating a problem, I realized, and I went to someone.
Right.
Because don't keep things bottled up. You keep it bottled up, the bottle is eventually going to break. And you don't want that glass spewing everywhere.
Right.
So if you can control that, you control it. You go, your jobs usually have psych people available to you, and it's usually private, and the job has no records. They can't get access to that. It's set up for you. So if for all of you out there, if you don't know about that, you should look into it also. But usually your job has some type of stuff set up for you.
Yeah.
And if not, you should seek counseling outside if you don't trust your job.
Yeah. And that's why we do the webinar too, right? So when we talk about the Mother Wounds webinar, what we do at the end of the webinar is we pair people with mental health professionals,
which is good,
that are inside our platform, Safe Haven. So for the folks that are watching this that may not have a job or have a job and you're not really sure, you're not comfortable, pull up to the webinar, May 11th at 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking about mother wounds, but towards the end of the webinar, we'll be pairing you with mental health professionals and helping you get connected with the resources that you need inside of Safe Haven. Man, so you do understand the importance of counseling. You just don't go to it actively unless something has happened.
I ain't going. You have been trying to get me to counsel for...
Because you need a little healing, baby.
I got a lot of healing.
You need a little healing.
Don't tell me why I need to
Mommy,
heal.
I'm going to keep it a stack with you. You have high anxiety. You actually
I got anxiety.
You may actually have an anxiety disorder. Like, you may have an anxiety disorder, for real.
Me ain't paying for nobody to fix that.
No, you don't have to... My God.
I'm not spending no money.
You don't have to pay money for people to fix that, bro. You have insurance. You go...
Hey, I retired. I have to pay for that insurance now, you know.
Right, so if you're going to have to pay for your insurance, you might as well get the best out of it and go and talk to one of them counselors, man.
This is the last month of free insurance.
But do you get what I'm saying, though?
Me get.
You have high...
I'm not taking it, but me get.
High...
Let me stop behaving like a Jamaican, trying to speak and destroying these people's language.
Yeah, because I brought that in this house. And I even be telling me, stop trying to speak patois. I'm like, yo, relax, doggy.
I am Trinidadian.
Yeah, before people get confused in here, because you have some Trinidadian accent in here, you got some Jamaican stuff going on. But back to the topic.
Yeah.
You got some high anxiety, bro.
If you keep telling me that, my anxiety is going to get worse and worse. Nothing worse than worse, right?
You got some high anxiety, bro.
But that was, I think, job-related also.
Okay, so we're going to see. We'll see.
No, after I came from Trinidad, the 3 months when I hurt my Achilles and stuff, and I went there.
You was chilling?
I came back. I realized I had serious anxiety. You know why?
Why? The
As
moment you
soon
stepped in
your
US.
father drove down the hill to go into that hospital, my things started. I couldn't breathe. Your father said, "Kathleen, relax." I said, I started to think. I was like, he's like, "Relax." I said, "Oh my God, I just got back to work. Now I know what the problem was."
It's not funny, but it's funny.
It
It's
is.
not funny, but it's funny, son.
And as soon as I get in there, it's like this. The coughing starts. This. And I'm like, they're like, "You okay?" I say, "I'm good." Like if I just run a race.
You know why, man, when we talk about retirement stuff, everybody was in there crying. The reason why
No, it's time for me to go.
the reason why I couldn't really, it impacted me, but it didn't really pierce me because I was like, yo, I see y'all crying and I
Yeah, but I need my mother
with
to
y'all.
not do that.
But y'all don't see when this lady is coming home at 11, what this is doing to her body, how she's responding, how tired she is. Like, I sympathize with them for sure.
Because they don't see that part.
But
They don't know.
could not even, it didn't even cross my mind like, yo, maybe she should stay a little bit longer. Hell no.
Hell no.
No. And they lucky I ain't say a word in that retirement tea because I had some words.
Because
I had
first
some
of
words
all,
for them.
like I told you guys, I love those people, but you know why I left.
I know exactly why you left. I know exactly why you left. And I'm glad you left because I'm glad you're in it. If
it was for those people, I would still be there.
For sure. But I'm glad you're in a position now where you're not like old to the point where you can't take care of yourself.
My knees still work.
Right. You can still get up. You can still walk. You got a little coughing thing going on. But that's nothing a little.
I got a half a lung, but at least it's better than none.
It's nothing a little exercise won't help.
Hey, that's a dirty word.
That's not no dirty word. You go to the gym, it gets you right, man. So I'm glad you're at an age right now where you can actually still enjoy your life after this. There's a lot of people that retire and they just, in the words of Naima, dead.
They're dead.
Not dead, but dead. Like they're just there.
So your father, I said to your father, you have to call me because of the problem with the plumbing, right? When I talked to him, he said, "Oh my God, I thought it was something bad about your health. He was going to come and tell me." I said, "No, something's wrong with the plumbing."
You get into that age, mommy?
Mind your business, boy.
When y'all call me, I get scared.
Why?
Because y'all old.
Excuse me? We're not old. Really?
Now y'all are old. I ain't
No,
gonna lie.
we're not.
Y'all kind of old now. And you specifically?
I'm old.
You scare me the most.
Oh my God.
I'm serious. I'm serious, mommy. You be scaring me. That's why I be on you. Daddy, I know Daddy will. All Daddy needs to do is get on a little diet. He eat his little sardines or whatever he do.
And he good.
And he good. Sardines, tomato, banku. He alright. You in here eating cake, breakfast, lunch. Jesus Christ.
I don't want to waste it. Okay, I'll get my sardines too.
You need to waste it.
My ackee and saltfish. My bake.
Seriously, man. I'm telling you, mommy. Sometimes I'll be upstairs and you probably won't believe this.
I good.
But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I've told folks this before. I haven't told you guys this before. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Sometimes I'm upstairs in a room and I think about you guys not being here and I just start crying.
Ooh, don't cry.
Have you ever done that before?
Thinking about somebody.
Sister, who's your mother, we call sister.
Because and I'm gonna say it, and yes, it's family and stuff like that. But when I look at stuff like that, for me, it's a normal progression and it's expected.
So you don't. Okay, go.
For me, it's just part of life, right? So I don't want. It's just like mommy, which is my grandmother, who lived to be 110, 108, whatever the number was, and died after she got pancreatic cancer, right? It is a normal progression. Those folks, from the islands, the old one, they will live forever
Mm-hmm.
because everything they ate was 100% natural.
Mm-hmm.
It was all from the earth, 100% natural. It all from the sea. It wasn't frozen. It was catch and eat.
Mm-hmm.
Pick from the tree, cook it. It wasn't sprayed, injected.
Mm-hmm.
So half of the battle is already lost because we're already eating half of these chemicals. The lotions we put on our skins that embedded with all these micro whatever things, fillers, I have to call them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're spreading all this on your skin. I mean, because these companies want to make money.
So what you're saying is,
We already starting the process of ending the process, right? You want to live good, healthy, a clean life. You can't use what they refer to as organic here. That's a bunch of
nonsense.
the chicken running around in a 4x4 for 2 hours a day. It's natural. Please let the chicken and them roam like they roam in the West Indies. They go to the neighbor's yard. They go everywhere, meet each other, and then they come back home.
And what happens when they come back home?
They know where they live. They roam, they range, they're free range. That's what you call free range.
What happens after that, though?
When we're ready to eat them, we eat them. I can't do that anymore.
You're a damn liar.
No.
You're a liar, mommy.
No,
because you said
no. I went to Trinidad. I went back to Trinidad after I was here for about maybe 10 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I went running around playing with the chickens and having a good time. And then the guy said, he picked one. Right? So he picked one. So I'm okay with that. Next thing I know, the chicken lost his head. They put him in hot water, plucked the feathers off. Then they cooked him and they served him on a plate to me. And the man stepped out of the room. I said to my husband, I said, William, I can't eat this chicken. I can't, you got to take this off my plate. I can't eat this. I just played with this chicken. I can't eat this chicken. So he stopped laughing. So when I said, I can't eat this. It was funny. I was like, oh my God, too natural. He went in the yard, picked all the only thing he got from a bag was rice. Everything was all natural from garden. The seasonings, everything. They just go pick, and cook. That thing smelled good, but it wasn't going down. I could not eat that chicken. I said, take this off my plate. The avocado, he went in his yard, picked all that stuff. Serious. That's living. That is why we're moving back to Ghana.
Moving to Ghana.
We will be moving to Ghana.
Let me ask you, what's the nicest thing you feel like I've ever done for you?
The nicest thing you have ever done for me?
And I know this is a long answer, so just try to
No,
shorten
it's not a long answer. I don't know what nice you done for me.
Just try to shorten it when you can.
Try to shorten what? Listen, the nicest thing that you've done for me. And it's not just you. This is what, and it's specific to you, but it's specific to
the family.
And one other son here also, who is Alex. He's the oldest of all. The nicest thing that you have done is no matter where I am, no matter how I call, no matter what I say, I say, Kofi, I have to fix the kitchen.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I need this, and this. Like, mommy, what? I said, this, and this. He's like, okay, I'll give it back to you. And I don't want it back. No, I'll give it back. I don't want it back. The same thing with your brother. That is nice because you don't have to. Right? Because as an adult, me and your father, we made plans to do stuff without you being involved. Then things happen. And then it becomes a little bit more costly than you planned. And even though you have money, you don't have money, right? So we need a little bit of help. And you're more than willing, you and your brother, to foot. But that's not just it. you always do that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna give it back. No, you don't have to. I don't want it back. Why are you sending this to me? Don't send this to me. I said, but you did. I said, no, don't send it. I was like, no, but did I not tell you not to send this to me? I said, who the mother here? Who is the mother? I become the child, you become the parent.
That's what happens as we age.
No,
or as you age.
that'll happen as you age, not me.
As you guys age, I've realized I'm taking as much as you guys taking care of me, I'm taking care of y'all too.
That's correct.
That's
It
true.
works
That's really
both
what it is.
ways.
And the reason
It's just like with my mother, I do the same thing.
No, absolutely.
And she wants to spend her money. And she's like, you don't let me spend my money. I said, for what? My responsibility is to spend the money for you. You did your part already.
No,
Spend your money doing whatever junk you want to do.
But you know what it is though? The reason why I say that is because you guys have done so much. I don't even know how. As I've gotten older, I've gotten to have a greater appreciation for how much you guys have actually done and accomplished. I don't think you guys, maybe you do. I don't see it. I hope you guys do. Just take a moment to, we're sitting right now in New York in a living room in a house. You came from Trinidad. Daddy came from Ghana. To be able to get a house in New York.
In this neighborhood.
It's just, and that's just one part of it. You put 4 kids through school. They all would have been through college if they had all decided to go through college. It's not easy, right? These are just two things. It's not easy. So when you ask for bread, I'm like, bro, I wouldn't even have this bread if it wasn't for you guys in the upbringing that you gave me. So yeah, I'm gonna give you the bread. And no, I don't want the bread back. And that's how I am, honestly. Whenever I give money out, this is not just a you thing, I never expect to get it back. Because
well, that good. All the people listening now know they can borrow from you and
but here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? I'm only gonna give money to people that I trust to eventually give it back. Even though I don't expect it back, I'm only gonna give money to people that I trust to give it back. Because I've had situations where I give money out and the person ducking and dodging me after a while. I'm like, yo.
Oh, well, at least they're ducking and dodging. I have loaned people money and they're watching you in your face and they have no intentions of giving it back.
But now, seriously though, and that's why now my thought process is I only give what I can afford to not be with.
Right.
So I never give if I'm feeling exhausted or I don't have the bread. So I'm never in a situation where I'm like, oh my God, I get this money.
And I need it.
And I need the money now. Oh my God. Nah, if I gave the money, it's because I don't need it. So that doesn't make it any less significant because it's still money. But at the end of the day, that's the reason why my thought process is that way.
But it's just that. It is just, and I know people will look at me and say, yeah, because you have, so you can do it. No, it's not about having, because we've been through, and you all didn't know that, there have been times where we almost lost this house, right? And you didn't know that. We're not going to let you know that because the cupboards here have always been packed.
Right.
Always. So when you all get downstairs, you can just go in the kitchen, go in the fridge and but we have been on the verge. I mean, we're comfortable now, but there were times when we were going through that bad housing period where we almost lost, I don't know, I can't remember the year, but we almost lost the house and stuff like that. And I still had a good job at that time. Right? The same place I was working at before. So we're not going to, let you all feel it. We're the parents and we have to take care of it. So we did what we had to do and we were able to keep it. But my thing about money is, you have money, yes, but I didn't have money and we were always good. We always had people looking out for us. Your father's very church going. I, on the other hand, I'm not, even though I was raised in a church and stuff like that. But I do believe, and my thing is that anywhere you go is a church, and where 2 and 3 are gathered, It's all good.
Mm.
So when I'm at work, I'm still at church.
Mm.
We fool around and stuff like that, but we all believe, I believe, and stuff like that. So it was, and I have a lot of people around me who are God fearing and stuff that will make sure I stay on the right path.
Mm.
Right?
Mm.
So it's also the circle that you keep,
Mm.
the people that you interact with.
Yeah.
Right? So it has been a great run.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, like, you guys take some time to acknowledge that, man, because
Your father and I are acknowledging, because your father has worked in the short time that he worked there. It's like he helped revolutionize what they do there.
mm-hmm.
So, and he didn't see what he was doing in the beginning, but I know what he was doing in the beginning. And I was telling him what was going to take place.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass. But it's all good because God knows why.
Mm-hmm.
So the next chapter is here, and your father and I are very, very happy. I'm right now, he's in Ghana, and I am getting ready to go get to visit.
Yep.
Right? To do what we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love Ghana.
Ghana.
Come and visit. Ghana is great.
Amazing.
Oh my God. If you haven't gone to Ghana, if you haven't seen the door of no return, make that trip.
Got to.
Make that trip to see where your ancestors had to go, where they had to pass. Once you get into any of those slave castles, you're going to feel the presence. I'm talking to you, I'm getting goosebumps. See that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You cannot help but feel something before they even start to talk to you about what took place.
Yeah.
You feel it.
You feel that.
You walk in, you can feel it.
It's
right?
It's
It's
actually
crazy.
insane. It actually is insane.
They're still there.
For sure.
They're definitely still there.
Ghana is one of the reasons why.
Look at my goosebumps. My God.
No, Ghana is one of the reasons why I believe heavily in spirits.
Oh my God. That place, there was one chamber I ain't going to.
I said this before on the podcast,
mm-mm.
right on this couch right here. I was talking to Tiffany on the episode. We're talking about grief and spirituality in Ghana and just my visits to Ghana. I told Tiffany, I don't know if I actually told Tiffany this. Maybe I did. Regardless of if I did or not, I'm gonna say it here. There was one not castle, but there was a dungeon or prison that we went to. We go in there, and I walk in. I think Daddy walks in, and then I'm walking in behind him, and they're like, this is the prison that this person was kept in, and you can go inside there if you want to." And I'm like in the middle, right? There's this prison, there's this another space over here. I'm in the middle, right there, pointing to the left. You can go in there if you want to. Mommy, I tried to walk in. I'm like unconsciously, like I'm about to walk in. And I just at that point, I had been to at least 3 slave castles. I walked in, I've walked all through them. This one, for some reason, my body just backed me up.
Yeah, there's one, and I couldn't enter.
And I could not explain it. I back out of it. I can't even explain what's happening. It's like I wasn't even in control of my body. I'm just backing out. I'm getting goosebumps right now just talking about it. I just backed out. Daddy comes out. I told Dad, I'm like, yo, I couldn't walk in there. I don't know what that was, but I could not walk in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it was. I can't remember the name, but if I visit there, I'll know what it is. I remember. I have all the footage and stuff on my SD card.
You gotta go.
I will never forget my visit to Ghana. Not only for that, but because when I was in Ghana, I felt Daddy's mom very heavily when I was in the hotel, and especially since he gave me the picture. Mommy, when I tell you, I felt that lady so heavily, and I cried a lot because I was like, damn, I never got to meet this lady.
Yeah, I didn't meet her either.
But I felt her so heavily, Mommy. Like, it was like Right, to the point where I felt like she was talking to me. Not
Good.
necessarily like I'm hearing her,
Yeah,
but
I
like
know.
I'm feeling her spirit and her energy when I'm in the hotel. And then daddy's also telling me stories because he's back home and he's realizing things and he's visiting places that he's been. So it was a lot, man. It was a lot.
He was close to his mom.
I know he was.
Very close to his mom. And so when she passed, and he was the eldest brother and had to go and take care of all the funeral stuff, and he had to be the strong one because he was the oldest and all this. It's difficult.
Woo, man. Lord Jesus. Can you tell? I want to wrap up.
Uh-huh.
There's folks here right now don't have a great relationship with their mom. Mom passed. What do you want them? What can you tell them? What's some motherly
right
words that you
now,
can give them?
I may not have a great relationship with my daughter,
Mm-hmm.
but know that I am still her mother. And I know that she may not like everything that I am doing or saying, but the love is still there. So, and the mother still loves the daughter. You out there, whose mother, whose daughter don't get along, know that you all still care for each other. It's just certain little things that are getting in the way. Your mom may have passed and you may not have been able to get to reconcile with her. Know that she knows. She's a mother. She knows that you couldn't overcome whatever the obstacle was, but she is a mother and she knows that she had you and she knows that you still care. Do not beat yourself up too much because you weren't able to say sorry. You can say sorry now. Go to church, go to wherever your place of worship is. If you know where her graveyard site is, you go there, you leave the flowers, you say sorry. You got to move on with your life because if you don't, you'll be stuck. Your mother understands. We're mothers. We understand a lot. We don't like some of the stuff, but we do understand. Say you're sorry. Your mother's going to hear you and move on. She's going to hear. She's going to hear.
That's very true.
Or speak your piece. She's going to hear.
One more question. Naeem and I have kids.
They're coming for the summer.
Yeah, I know that. What's one thing that we need to be aware of when we have newborns?
That everybody wants them, but they want to give them back. Newborns. So everybody wants the West Indies. This is it. We believe in Maljo.
What's that?
It's like an evil eye kind of thing. I have to say it like that. So we usually protect babies when they're born with the Bible, and we have a red and white bracelet around a beaded bracelet that they wear on their wrists, and the Bible has a certain thing put on it because we believe that sometimes people, just like I was telling you when you have your relationship, that outside influences don't like what they see and they'll come and put stick, right? And you all have to know each other and don't allow that to happen. It's the same way people will come. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to do this or that your friends are the ones going to do it, but we don't know. And they're not 100% in their heart. So this is why we do those things. Sometimes people are not always what they appear to be. I have to say it like that.
So be mindful of who we keep around.
When you have a baby, only certain people in the beginning, not everybody until that baby is able to handle their own. We don't let, that's just us. We don't let everybody.
Until like what age? Like 2?
2? No, not that old. When they pass that age where they're really susceptible to getting sick and all this kind, babies are really, they're newborn. Their system is still developing. You have to give them some time to develop. Not until after probably they get to the doctor for the first time or something like that.
Okay.
But we still have, the protective thing in the crib and stuff. I guess everybody does it, but it's in a different way.
Right.
But you have to be careful.
Okay.
You have to be careful. That's just old school way.
No. You don't even gotta explain, because I know Naima's gonna listen to this and she's gonna be right on top. This
is what was done for all of you.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Every last one of you in that crib. I wish I have picture with the Bible.
I didn't know y'all did that.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Every last one of you. All of you all were christened in the same gown, because in the West Indies we have christening gown because it's a British thing. It's not a dress, it's a gown. It's for boys and girls. So all we do is interchange the ribbon pink and blue, right? The only one that wasn't was one of our family recently. But everybody, that's like our tradition is passed on. Everybody's christened in that gown.
Really?
I have the gown in the car. I just cleaned it to give it back to sister. So whoever has the next baby, it's passed on. It was hand crocheted by sister, which is, we call sister. Sister's my mom. We call her sister. Her name is really, that's a nickname. It was Tita. It turned to sister. We all started calling her sister from young, and it stuck, right? So we call our grandmother Mommy. Instead of calling our mother Mommy, we call her grandmother Mommy, and we call our mother sister. So the grandmother, sister, she crocheted that. She hand crocheted that. So all her grandkids were christened in her. Everyone, except one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why it's going to be passed to you all. That is going to be passed. That's crocheted by her. Right?
Oh, I didn't know that. I learned something new. I learned something new. Is there anything we need to do at the wedding?
At the wedding, that's different?
Yeah, like any specific
I don't know. You
thing?
have to talk to your father, and she's from, her family's from Ethiopia, right? Kenya? Where's her dad?
Jesus, you going to name all the African?
I know. I forgot. Tanzania. Right. So they may have specific rituals.
We don't got to worry about that.
Ghana has, you have to worry about that. Ghana has, nothing with you have to worry about that.
I'm joking.
Ghana has rituals.
Okay.
So I don't know if she wants to go back to Tanzania also to do it.
I got to give, and her dad is probably going to watch this. I know I got to give you your cows, man.
Right.
I'm going to give them the cows.
You buy the cows.
I'm buying like 4 of them.
Yeah, buy the cows and whatever else you have to do. And if you have to do the ceremony there, you do it there.
The where?
If you have to go to Tanzania and do the ceremony there, you do the little ceremony there. And if you have to go to Ghana to do the ceremony, you do the ceremony. Well, that's your fault.
I can't go to Ghana and do the ceremony because
nobody told you to go Jamaican, Trinidadian, Ghanaian, Tanzanian, American. You chose that.
I'll tell you something right now.
No, you don't have to tell me something or anything right now.
That Jamaican and Tanzanian mix.
You're going to Tanzania.
That Jamaican and Tanzanian mix.
That is crazy.
It's lovely.
That is crazy.
It is
serious. Good. It is good. We love Naima.
I really love Naima.
I know you do. When we're talking about you, William and I love Naima, and we love Stella.
I'm telling you something right now. Naima's parents, they did a big one with that.
Yeah, they did. Naima is a wonderful person.
Nah, seriously, man.
Yeah.
Seriously. I tell people all the time, I say, if the world was full of Naima, I tell Naima this. I say, if the world was full of Naimas, we wouldn't have no problems.
No, Naima is so, and you would never think she's so powerful. She is very loving.
Very loving.
You okay?
Very
I said, girl,
loving.
I'm fine.
That's why I'm just saying, that's why I'm like that with y'all, where I'm like, oh, I know you in the kitchen. You're like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm like, yo, rest, bro.
She there calling me, Ma, you want something to eat? I said, Naima, I got too much food in this house to be buying food right now.
Yo,
I'm
when
good.
I tell you, son, that girl, she came here, she got a full itinerary. I'm like, babe,
yes, she was
out,
busy.
I'm like, yo, relax.
I said, Naima, how much stuff you got to do in
like,
2 days?
I'm like, yo, relax.
That's why
babe.
when you tell me 4 days. I said 4 days is short.
Yo, it came. You know why it's short? Because she doing everything.
But
Every
that's why
day
I
she
told
got
you
something going on.
when you said she's here for 4 days, I said, Naima, that's short. And I didn't even know she was doing all of that stuff.
Bro, she was out. Yo, my car, I ain't never seen my car move that much.
She's like, can I have a car, babe? I said, babe, why you asking me that? I said, listen to them. I'm sorry, I had to laugh. Babe, why you asking me that? Just take the key. Okay, but I have to ask. I was like, listen to those two. Really? Really?
Yeah. That's really how the conversation went. We was in the kitchen. She said, babe, can I borrow your car? I said, babe, why are you asking me to borrow my car? Just take the keys and go, bro.
I was laughing. I was like,
Nah, that's really how it went.
I was dying. I was laughing. I was like,
That's mad funny, son.
Yeah, it is funny.
Nah, but yeah, Naima was a great person, man.
No, she is a great person.
I'm a very blessed man. I tell her that all the time. I know it. I know it to be true.
Yeah.
I know it to be true, man.
Yeah.
Man, this has been great, mommy. I appreciate this.
It's been great. Oh, you're such a good son.
I appreciate it.
Let me not hype up your head too much.
Come on, no, go ahead. What else do you have to say?
Oh, please. Really?
Anything that you want the people to know? Anything that you want to leave them with? Normally when I end the episode, I always tell people to say, where can they find you? But I mean, you're retired, you're not on Instagram, so you ain't got nowhere to be
Where
found.
you can find me? You can find me in Ghana, where William and I will be doing some work there with his nonprofit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed.
No, yeah, for sure. You are.
His nonprofit.
That's family stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we do is take clothing, books, anything to distribute to people in Ghana, not furniture and stuff like that, not right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also, he's putting some people through nursing school. We have one person that will be hopefully finishing soon and another one slated to start. We pay for all their books, all their medical supplies, and this is not inexpensive stuff. Because the stethoscope that we sent to them, I wish I had one like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I mean, you're talking about it, yeah.
All anything that they need. Plus, they had the iPad. What do they call that thing? The little computer, but it's not the keyboard one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a notepad. That's what
yeah.
We buy them notepads and anything as long as they can keep up their skills and stuff and do what they have to do. And all we want from them is that they pass on their knowledge to others. And I'm retired now, and I want to set up some like teaching classes there for sterile technique and just basic nursing stuff so that the community and the schools are better informed.
And I'll be in Ghana.
And I will be moving to Ghana.
I love it. I'm going to be visiting. We're going to send the kids there when we have them.
Send the kids. Send them.
I appreciate you. Last thing before we end, for the folks that watched the full episode, if you know anybody that would be interested in the Mother Wounds webinar, or you yourself are interested in the Mother Wounds webinar, we're going to be teaching that webinar May 11th at 6 p.m. Eastern. That's a Saturday. We're going to be going through how to heal mother wounds, what mother wounds are, how they impact you, what you need to do, healing resources that you can use to take your healing from where you are to where you want to be. And that's, again, Saturday, May 11th at 6 p.m. Eastern. You can go to expressyourselfblackman.com/links and sign up there. Or if you are on Instagram, you can go to the link in our bio, sign up there. Or if you are watching this or viewing this or listening to this, it's going to be in the description of this episode. So we appreciate y'all. I hope you guys got something out of it. It's been a nice conversation with my mom. If you guys have any questions or need any motherly wisdom or sage advice from this 59-year young woman,
hey,
leave them in the comments and I'll make sure that she sees them and we'll try to get her to respond. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, mommy.
Appreciate you guys for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you are planning an event or you are part of your organization's Black employee group and you are interested in having dope Black mental health professionals or myself come in and do a speaking engagement or a workshop or a keynote address or a panel, please click the link in our bio on Instagram or TikTok, scroll down and click book us for speaking and brand deals and fill out the form available on our website. Once you fill out the form, one of our team members will get back to you about how we can collaborate and create something dope for your organization. This is an unparalleled opportunity. We are currently the largest Black men's mental health platform, and we have a few slots available for our calendar year, and we would love to partner with you to create something dope for your organization if it makes sense for both parties, right? So go to the link in our bio, scroll down, click book us for speaking and brand deals, and fill out that form. If you're not on Instagram, the link should be linked in our description of this episode. And it is also on our website. If you go to expressyourselfblackman.com/speaking-brand-deals. That's expressyourselfblackman.com/speaking-brand-deals. If you are looking for a therapist, a Black therapist, and you've had a hard time finding one, you've jumped from therapist to therapist, or you just don't know how to find a therapist, we are teaching a free webinar. It's completely free, taking you from not knowing how to find a therapist, not knowing where to search for therapists, struggling with finding good therapists for you, not knowing what to look for in therapists, teaching you all of those different things, and also giving you the opportunity at the end of the webinar to be connected with one of our safe haven healers who are Black mental health professionals so that you do not have to go through the struggles of finding a Black therapist alone anymore, right? So if you're interested in that, you want to get connected with a Black mental health professional at the end of the webinar, or you just want to learn how to find a Black therapist by yourself, you can sign up for the free webinar. It's linked in our bio on Instagram and TikTok. You just click that free webinar link once you click the link in our bio and fill out the form. You can also find it on our website at expressyourselfblackman.com/links and fill out the form there for our next webinar session. If you're not interested in any of that, right, but you know someone that may be interested in it, all we ask is that you please share it. If you want some of the merch that we show on the platform all the time, that we're wearing on the platform all the time, you can shop it at shop.expressyourselfblackman.com. And once again, we just want to say thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much for supporting us. Please, if you are on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe, comment. If you're listening to this on an audio platform, please leave a review. It helps us out greatly. Thank you so much for your support. We're wishing you nothing but the best and sending you and your family and your loved ones love and light. Peace.
Sometimes I know you feel like you ain't got nobody to speak to. A shoulder to lean on somebody you could preach to. No, you need to hear it, my brother, I love you. We got way too much to live for. We got way too much to live